one of the most challenging aspects of recovering from psychic attack or spiritual attack of some sort isn't so much cleaning up that work spiritually, doing spiritual work or cleansing work to remove whatever has been done. In my opinion, it's more a case of being able to recover psychologically often from the consequences of that attack. And the reason that is that spiritual attack or a psychic attack can be an extremely traumatizing, isolating event when it happens. It can really impact your mental health. It can send you into a downward spiral and create a kind of crazy making feedback loop where the fear of the spiritual attack or the anxiety around that attack leads to more symptoms of being disturbed, more negative consequences in your life due to your behaviors, due to how you react in relationships, and your demeanor, which in turn feeds back into this idea that you are being attacked psychically. So it creates a kind of vicious circle. And often, even when that work has been cleared up and when that work has been broken, it can be very difficult to break out of that and to let go of the belief or the fear that you are in fact still under attack. And I get this often with clients who will have come to me from other competent spiritual workers who have maybe treated them for some sort of spiritual attack or malefic witchcraft, having cleaned that work, but the client still doesn't feel like that mess has been cleaned up. They still feel like they're suffering the ill effects of that witchcraft. And then when I read for them, often I won't see any residual witchcraft. Often enough, it will have in fact been cleaned up, but the client still feels this persistent sense of persecution, of problems in their life, of depression, anxiety, and confusion. And it's as if that kind of experience induces a kind of magical PTSD, you could say. It's the trauma of that experience. It is very crazy making. It's very isolating. It's very difficult to explain to your doctor or to a psychiatrist, without them really thinking you've lost your marbles, when you in fact have been genuinely attacked psychically. So I find that in addition to doing work to clean up that work, to cleanse it, to break it, to remove it, that lately I've really been encouraging clients to seek out other modalities to help them release and let go of that trauma. And that might take the form of some sort of self-help modality like EFT or the Sedona method, or maybe cognitive behavioral therapy. You get some really good CBT books that will teach you basic CBT that you can do for yourself. That's a very helpful tool for working with persistent negative thoughts, fears, and phobias. Or even, maybe, seeing a therapist, a psychologist to help you deal with the anxiety and the depression. But whatever the case may be, it's important to understand that a big part of your recovery is in fact going to be exploring ways of intentionally healing and letting go of that trauma. Otherwise, you are going to experience a far more dangerous and persistent kind of black magic, which is the black magic of fear, the black magic of paranoia, the black magic of anxiety, which is far more insidious. It will really creep into your very being and contaminate your whole life long after any actual witchcraft has been cleared up. And this is where we realize that it is really up to us to take responsibility for our mental state, to take back our power, to take back our agency, and realize that yes, we can recover from this this attack that we've experienced. Yes, it was real, but it has been cleaned up, and now we are ready to move on. And I see a lot of clients who are not willing to do that. And the reason is often there is a payoff to the idea of being under spiritual attack. And even if that attack was a legitimate thing that you experienced, and even if that has been cleaned up, often there is a payoff for continuing in believing or holding on to the fear that you are under attack. And that payoff can take many forms. It can be the absolution of responsibility for certain things in your life, not taking responsibility for your finances, not taking responsibility for your health in the form of your diet, in the form of your sleep, in the form of your exercise. I get clients who talk about magical attack to me, and when I investigate and read on it, I will often see evidence of substance abuse. And then when I confront the client and say, have you been using these various substances that I'm seeing in the reading, they will confess, which, if you are suffering from extreme anxiety, depression, or paranoia, is probably not going to help the situation. So we need to really think about this whole the notion of spiritual attack in a very holistic way. We need to treat the magical spiritual causes of such an attack, if there are any, and when those have been treated successfully, we need to look at ways of resolving and working with the trauma, the anxiety, the stress and depression that results from that kind of experience. And it's only by combining those two methods, I feel, that a person can really move forward and heal and recover from magical or spiritual attack.